My mother called to cancel my son's 10th birthday. The reason? My brother's kids, the golden ones, might not feel special enough, so I didn't just have the party. I rewired my entire life. A year later, their prized grandkids saw how happy my son was, and my brother's jealous meltdown shattered the family for good. My name is Mason. I'm 38, an electrician. The guy with the worn tool belt and a quiet voice who shows up when a breaker trips at midnight. I live in a small rental with my wife, Clara, and our son, Owen. He's turning 10 this Saturday. He's been scrawling on the small chalkboard on our fridge. 3 sleeps, 2 sleeps, like it's a countdown to a rocket launch. He wants a simple party: backyard wiffle ball, hot dogs, a chocolate cake with the number 10 on top. Nothing fancy. In my family, I'm the utility guy, the can-you-swing-by guy. If there's a flickering light, a faulty outlet, a ceiling fan that wobbles, call Mason. If there's a promotion, a perfect family photo in a field at sunset, a life where things just work without effort, call my older brother Ethan. He's the golden one. He doesn't fix circuits. Circuits complete for him. I don't hate Ethan. As kids, I trailed him like a shadow with a wire stripper while he trailed applause. My mother kept a silent ledger only she could see, and somehow he always had credits, and I always had character building. I learned to be useful. He learned to be adored. Friday afternoon, I stopped by my parents' house to grab a folding table for the party. Mom likes to lend things with a lecture included. She watched me dust it off in the garage and said, "Come inside for tea." I knew what her tone meant. An agenda. Dad was in his recliner, TV muted, pretending to be neutral like Switzerland in a living room. Mom poured tea, didn't offer sugar, and went straight to the script. "We've been talking," she said. "About?" I asked. "About Saturday," she paused. "About Owen." I waited. "You can't have the party," she said, like she was announcing the weather. "Your brother's kids don't feel special enough." I blinked. "What?" "They saw those balloons you bought," she said, "and they're sensitive right now. They feel overlooked. A big fuss for Owen would be divisive." "It's 5 kids, hot dogs, and a cake," I said. "We're not hiring a brass band." She smiled, a thin, brittle thing. "Postpone, or make it a joint celebration at Ethan's. His yard is bigger. It's only fair." "Owen turns 10 once," I said. "We've planned this for weeks." Mom's voice cooled. "If you choose selfishness, don't bring him here afterward. We won't reward it." The kettle clicked off. Dad cleared his throat. No one looked at me. Inside my chest, something small and precise clicked into place, like a circuit breaker finally tripping. It wasn't rage. It was recognition. I saw the ledger again, the one where my son's joy was counted as someone else's theft. "Okay," I said. "Calm. I hear you." I left the folding table where it was. I walked out with empty hands and a thought that wouldn't let go. He turns 10 once, and we are done begging for permission to celebrate our own kid. You don't arrive at a sentence like, "Your brother's kids don't feel special enough," out of nowhere. It's built over years, brick by brick, favor by favor, silence by silence. I grew up learning that love in our house had fine print. When Ethan needed a new glove, the budget stretched. When I needed a school fee, we had a serious talk about priorities. When he won trophies, the living room turned into a shrine. When I fixed the broken porch light, I got a nod and a good man. I told myself I didn't mind because I liked tools, and being useful is its own language. But being useful is different from being seen. By 16, I was wiring outlets for a landlord who paid in cash and complaints. I learned the sound of a circuit when it's almost right, the way electricity hums when you listen. I liked the certainty. Connect the wires, flip the switch, the light comes on. People smile and say thank you. No ledgers, no drama. I met Clara on a service call during a blackout. She brought me water and asked if I wanted lemon. Lemon. That detail still lives in my head. We got married at the courthouse with a grocery store cake and a tiny bouquet Clara tied with blue thread from her sewing kit. The cake didn't photograph well. It tasted perfect. Ethan married Sophia in a vineyard. There were drones and a hashtag. When Owen was born, I held him and thought, this is it. This is my whole job now. Make his world a little kinder at the edges. We don't have much, but we have clear rules. Don't lie. Don't keep score. Don't weaponize help. My side of the family runs on small asks. Mason, can you install a smart thermostat at Ethan's? He'd pay a pro, but we're family. Mason, can you look at our circuit panel Saturday? It keeps tripping. Your father can't nap. Mason, can you pick up the kids? Sophia's spa day went long. At first I said yes to all of it. That's how you keep the peace. You pay the tax, but taxes turned into tithes. If I invoiced them, I'd be cold-hearted. If I didn't, I'd be a good son. The ledger always existed. The labels just shifted to keep me in my place. We keep a budget notebook at home. Pencil numbers, groceries, gas, rent. I added a tiny page last year. Family jobs, hours, parts. I told myself it was just to remember. January through June, 37 hours. Parts, $213. Reimbursed, $0. Mom texted in March, "We'll settle up after Easter." Easter, then Mother's Day, then things are tight in June. But Ethan posted a photo of their new espresso machine with the caption, "Invest in mornings." Cool. It isn't just money. It's the posture, the assumption that our time is elastic, that Owen's schedule can bend around real things. Last year we tried a joint party for his 9th. It makes sense, Mom said. Children learn to share. Sharing turned into our kid, fading into the wallpaper, while Ethan's kids got the center spot and the big slice with the topper that said, "Family First." The photos looked adorable. Owen asked me later if joint meant not really mine. Clara cried in the bathroom with the fan on. She hates crying where people can hear. I stood outside the door and stared at a light fixture I had installed for my parents and never got paid for. I thought about sending an invoice with a line item for respect. I didn't. That felt petty. Also, I knew the ledger would flip it into proof that I was calculating. My mom has a tone when she says my brother's kids' names. It's soft and round, a spoon in honey. When she says Owen's name, it's brisk, efficient, like she's filing paperwork. Yet she doesn't mean to. She believes she loves us equally. The ledger says otherwise. In the weeks before Owen's 10th, we planned small 12 balloons, $16. Hot dogs, buns, juice, $41. Paper plates and candles, $9. A used wiffle ball set off Marketplace, $20. Chocolate, butter, flour, $27. Total, $113. Owen made a guest list of 5 kids and wrote their names in careful, blocky letters. He drew a tiny cake next to each name. He saved 2 seats for his cousins because he still wants everything to work out. Then Mom's kitchen. Postpone. Or make it joint. Your brother's kids don't feel special enough. I said no. It scared me how quiet the word came out. That night, the phone lit up. Aunt texts, Dad calls. Ethan's brotherly voice notes. The pattern is predictable. Is a compromise really so hard? Aunt, be pragmatic. We're one family. Dad, who becomes pragmatic when it's convenient. Bring the cake to ours. We've got a theme. Ethan, always brand conscious. Don't be selfish, Mason. Mom, she uses my full name when she thinks she's saving me from myself. Clara watched me put my phone face down. What do you want to do? She asked. I stared at the streamers on our kitchen table. I thought of Owen's drawings taped to the fridge. I want to give our son his day, I said, and I want to stop negotiating for basic joy. Then let's do that, she said. Mom's last text came at 10:41 p.m. If you go through with this, don't bring him here afterward. We cannot support your choices. You read that and realize support in this family has always meant control. I slept light. In my dream, I was connecting a stubborn wire. It finally sparked. Saturday morning, Owen came barreling into the kitchen in mismatched socks. Is it today? Is it double digits? He asked. It's today, I said. It's double digits. We iced the cake together. I don't know how to do those smooth bakery swirls. Mine looked like small waves. Owen said they were cool, like mountains. Clara piped the 1 and the 0 a little crooked. It felt right. At 9:12 a.m., my mom called. I let it ring. At 9:14, Ethan. At 9:19, Dad. The call log looked like a fire alarm. We opened the backyard gate. I taped a paper sign with an arrow that said Owen's 10, like it was a treasure map. Kids arrived. Backpacks, chatter, shy hellos turned into chaos, which is another word for joy when you're 10. We played wiffle ball with the used set. Owen hit a home run, rounded the makeshift bases, yelled yes, like he was announcing something bigger than the game. At 10:03, the gate rattled. Mom walked in with Ethan and Sophia behind her like a small parade that didn't check the schedule. They were uninvited and dressed like they were here to host. My stomach sank. Clara stood a little straighter. Owen came to my side and grabbed my hand. His palm was sticky with frosting he'd tested. Mom glanced around. Balloons, paper plates, the $20 wiffle ball set, like it was contraband. She made the face she makes when a server puts cilantro on her food. Mason, she said, her voice carrying. We told you the conditions. This is Owen's party, I said, calm. I heard my own tone and felt steady. Ethan smiled like a politician. Bro, we're not here to fight. We're here to rescue this. Bring the cake to our place. The cousins are waiting. We've got entertainment, a better grill, a bouncy house. It'll look good. Sophia tried to step in. Let's be adults, she said to me, then soft to Mom. It's not a competition. Mom ignored her. You are making the other children feel less than, she announced. That's not who we are. I looked at Owen's friends, wide-eyed, holding paper cups. I looked at my son. I looked at the woman who gave birth to me, and somehow forgot that celebration is not theft. You can stay and be kind, I said, or you can leave. Mom's eyes widened like I'd slapped her. Excuse me? You heard me, I said. No speeches, no conditions, no rescue. You're guests, or you're gone. Ethan laughed. Big words, little budget. Something in me wanted to list every free hour I'd poured into his house. The security system, the new outlets, the Saturday mornings I gave up so his weekend could breathe. Instead, I did the simplest thing that felt like truth. Stop, I said. He blinked. What? Stop making my son's birthday about your kids, I said. Stop turning our life into your project. Stop walking into spaces you weren't invited to and acting like hosts. Mom switched to guilt mode. After everything we've done for you, you turned done for me into a bill, I said. Every time, I'm not paying it anymore. Ethan stepped closer, lowering his voice to make it scarier. Think very carefully about your next move. I have, I said. It's cake. I turned to the kids. Who wants to sing? The backyard filled with the wobbly, loud chorus of 9- and 10-year-olds. Owen's face went shiny with happiness. He closed his eyes to make a wish. He opened them and blew 10 small flames out at once. He cheered. They cheered. It felt like oxygen. Mom stood frozen, then snapped. If you leave like this, do not come back. We won't be treated like this. We won't be treated like that either, I said. No heat, just a fact. Ethan tried one more flick of power. Text me when you come to your senses. I didn't promise anything. They left. We cut cake. The boys argued about the corner piece. Someone spilled juice. Someone yelled, "Home run!" again. Life resumed. When the last guest left with a sticky goodie bag and our backyard looked like a confetti storm, Clara leaned against me and whispered, "I'm proud of you." I exhaled for the first time all day. I meant it, I said. This isn't about revenge. This is about closure. We cleaned up, then looked around our place like it was a map we finally understood. Pack a bag, I said. We need a night away from the noise. We stuffed clothes into a duffel, scooped legal papers into a file folder, and Owen chose 2 Lego minifigs, so they won't be lonely. We left the faucet drip we'd been ignoring and the coin jar on the counter. We locked the door from the outside. The lock clicked, and it felt like a sentence ending in the right place. We checked into a budget motel off Route 8. The AC hummed like a steady friend. Owen fell asleep between us, smelling like sugar. Clara looked at me in the dim light and asked, "Are we really doing this?" "Yeah," I said, "we are." We didn't go far. We went far enough to hear our own voices. 2 motel nights turned into a short-term sublet over a barber shop. The landlord handed me the keys and said, "Deadbolt sticks. You look like you know what you're doing." I fixed it in 5 minutes and felt like maybe we'd be okay. We brought what we could carry. 2 duffels, a folding table, Owen's beanbag, the coin jar. We bought a mattress second-hand and a $40 couch that leaned left. The air smelled of old wood downstairs and possibility upstairs. Every morning, we woke to the shop radio and the sound of clippers. I liked it. It sounded like people working. The family reaction came in waves. Week 1, calls, 27 missed from Mom, 14 from Dad, 9 from unknown numbers, aunts. Voicemails that sounded like press releases. "We're devastated." Mom, "Be reasonable." Dad, "Therapy for the kids is expensive because of you." Ethan, classic. "Let's talk like adults." Mom again. After the anger cooled into manipulation, I saved every voicemail into a folder labeled Weather. When I felt weak, I listened and reminded myself what a storm looks like. Week 2. The money squeeze. Mom texted, "We've fronted a lot for you over the years. If you're going to choose this path, we need to settle up." She attached a list of loans that included a grocery run from 2018 and a pack of diapers from 2015. I screenshotted and added it to Weather. I didn't respond. You can't audit love retroactively to make disobedience expensive. Week 3, the smear. Sophia posted a quotation about ingratitude over a beige aesthetic, and 3 people liked it with heart emojis. An aunt texted, "Family forgives." Another aunt texted, "But you went too far." Both screenshots went to weather. I stopped checking Facebook. Our life shrank and got better. Mornings, walk Owen to school down Maple, passing Mr. Ortiz sweeping his deli sidewalk. He started keeping lemon lollipops for Owen. "Your boy's polite," he said. Evenings, wiffle ball in the park with a ball losing its shape. Homework at the folding table. Pasta, too many nights in a row. Laughter anyway. I took extra lockout jobs and raised my rates by $10 because my work is worth it. I wrote it on the invoice without apologizing. Some clients blinked, most paid. I also sent a new text to family when they tried the old quick favor script. Happy to help at my standard rate, $95 per hour plus parts. Weekend rate, $115. Mom responded, LOL. Ethan responded with a screenshot of a Yelp listing. I replied, "Great, hire them." He didn't. In March, Dad called at 6:13 a.m. "Circuit panel won't reset. Your mother's upset," he said. "I can come Friday at 2, I said. Rates $95 plus parts. Silence. "You're really doing this?" he asked. "I am." He hung up. They hired a stranger who charged $140 and left the wiring a mess. Mom texted a photo of the mess with, "This is what happens when family doesn't help family." I typed and deleted 5 replies. I settled on none. Owen turned into a different kid. He slept deeper. He stopped asking, "Are we going to Grandma's?" like it might change if he said it right. He started asking, "Can we invite Omar from school?" The answer was yes, more often than it used to be. We started 2 jars, summer and emergency. We fed them with tips and side jobs and the occasional $20 Clara got for a custom hem. Numbers grew slow, then grew faster. It was boring and holy. Not that it was easy. The second month, our old car coughed up a costly check engine light. We sat at the shop, got the quote, did the math. We said no to a Friday pizza and yes to a repair. Owen asked if we were poor. I said, "We're careful." He decided that sounded cooler. He told his friend, "We're careful. It means we pick our fun on purpose." In late spring, we ran into Ethan at the hardware store. He looked at my basket, outlets, wire nuts, conduit, and smirked. "Still playing handyman?" he asked. "Still playing eldest son?" I asked back. He leaned in. "You think you're better because you're stubborn." "I think I'm healthier because I stopped paying an imaginary bill," I said. He looked confused and a little mad. He walked away. Summer came. We took 1-day trip to the lake. Gas, sandwiches, $7 parking, a sunburn. It felt like the whole world reset to simple. In September, I got a call from the school guidance office. My heart dropped until the counselor said, "I just wanted to tell you, Owen advocates for himself. He's kind." I sat on the barbershop stairs and cried behind my hands. Not loud, just relief. We barely spoke to my parents. They sent 3 holiday invites, each with heavy subtext. We declined with 1 sentence each time. "We're staying in. Happy holidays." They sent photos of centerpieces and matching pajamas. We baked cookies and ate them in pajamas we didn't match, and Owen fell asleep on the left-leaning couch with chocolate on his cheek. A year rolled by like a careful cart. The week before Owen's 11th, he asked, "Can I invite my cousins again?" He said it with hope and caution, like a test of the emergency broadcast system. "You can," I said. "They might not come." He wrote their names anyway on the list, right after Omar and Liam and Eva. He drew tiny wiffle balls next to each. Party plan, same backyard, same bat, repaired with duct tape, same cake, my waves got better. Plus a rented bubble machine from a guy I helped open his shop once at dawn. He gave me a discount and said, "You saved me that day." Community is weird. It's heavier where you lift it. At 2:05 on party day, Sophia arrived with the cousins. No Ethan. The kids looked nervous, then saw the bubbles and forgot to be strategic. They jumped into the foam like puppies. 5 minutes later, Mom slipped in, holding a gift bag too big for what was inside. She scanned the scene like a judge, then tried to corral the cousins for a grandkids photo, but they wriggled away to chase bubbles. She looked unsure. Owen handed a paper cup to his cousin and said, "We have the corner piece of cake reserved for the birthday kid. You can have the other corner if you want." The cousin said, "Cool." They smiled. It could have been so simple all along. At 3:10, Ethan walked in. Late. Sunglasses. Loud. He took in the joy that wasn't centered on him and made a face like he smelled a bad idea. "So, this is what we're doing," he said. "Budget party chic? Inspiring." Sophia said his name with a warning note. Mom tried to smooth the air with a brittle laugh. People kept laughing at Bubbles. Joy is stubborn. Ethan stepped closer to me. "You happy?" he asked. "You broke Mom's heart for this?" "For our kid's smile?" I said. "Yeah," he scoffed. "You think you're some hero because you bought off-brand juice and said boundaries a lot. Meanwhile, we've had to pay for therapy for the kids because you excluded them." He air-quoted like a teenager. "I almost asked for receipts, but I've learned better. You can't audit that ledger either." He leaned in, his voice sharp. "You owe Mom an apology, today, in front of everyone." Kids turned their heads. Bubbles popped. The sun made everything too clear. I crouched to Owen. "You okay?" He nodded. "Brave." I stood up. "Ethan," I said, "you need to leave." He laughed. "Make me." I didn't raise my voice. "I have 71 voicemails and 94 texts saved from last year where you and Mom threatened consequences," I said. "If you won't go, I'll call this in as a disturbance. I'm not bluffing." Numbers matter to him. He flinched. Mom tried one last pivot. "Mason, don't do this in front of the children." "This is exactly where to do it," I said. "So they see what a boundary looks like without yelling." Sophia took Ethan's arm. "We're leaving," she said. Her tone said, "I'm done being your audience." He yanked free, turned at the gate and shouted, "You'll regret this." It sounded small against the noise of kids laughing at Bubbles. We went back to cake. Owen got his corner. His cousin got the other. Joy rebooted. That night, my phone lit up with messages that ranged from the scripted, "families have disagreements," to the obscene. I put it face down. I washed the cake knife. I tucked my son into bed. He said, "Best party," and fell asleep like he trusted the floor not to move. If you've spent your life as the background guy, it feels wrong at first to take up space. You keep wanting to apologize for existing in the frame. I don't do that anymore. Our life isn't cinematic. It's checkout lane math and borrowed ladders and soup on Tuesdays. It's Clara Hemming pants at the kitchen table. It's me coming home smelling like copper and wire, and Owen yelling, "Circuit's live," when I open the door, and me yelling, "Circuit's closed," back because we're dorks. It's jars on the fridge labeled cleats, camping, car fund, filled by ones and fives that add up to something true. My mother texts sometimes. Neutral holidays, a photo of chrysanthemums, a link to an article about forgiveness. I reply when I want, with full sentences. I don't when I don't. She hasn't said, "I'm sorry." I stopped writing that line for her in my head. Ethan sent a paragraph in spring. "We should be brothers again. Family forgives. I could use help installing a camera system. Can you do Saturday?" I replied, "I'm booked." He wrote, "Always selfish." I didn't let that land. Words only land if you make room. People ask if I'm angry. I was, "Now I'm clear. There's a difference. Here's what I know and what I'm teaching my son. Joy isn't a pie you steal from when you give a slice to your kid. Help isn't help if it turns into a receipt every time you say no. Boundaries aren't revenge. They're doors that lock from the inside so your home can be quiet." Saying no without a paragraph is a skill. "We don't do that" is a complete sentence. This was never about winning. There's no scoreboard in healthy love. This was about closure, which is just another word for flipping the switch on a circuit that never powered you and running a new line to the one that does. I'm still an electrician. I still show up when people are stuck. I still listen for the tiny hum that means it's time. I used to believe my job ended at the wall. Now I know it also lives at our kitchen table, in a backyard with a lopsided cake, at a gate where I said, "You need to leave," and meant it. I won't let anyone ration my kid's birthday to keep other kids feeling special enough. I won't do free labor to buy a seat at a table where we're never served. I won't pay emotional interest on loans I never took. I will keep my house simple and my rules simpler. Be kind, be honest, be safe. This isn't about revenge, I told my brother. This is about closure. It still is. We found the right wires. We made the connection. The light came on. We stepped through and stayed.